Hi, I'm Mr Yates. I'm one of the PE teachers here at Braes High School, and today we're going to make a video tutorial to do with command words that we use in higher and National 5 PE, and we're going to look at how we structure and we write a describe answer and an explain answer. To demonstrate how we structure a describe and an explain answer, I'm going to use something called the performance profiling wheel. As you can see on the screen, it's a circular wheel with different aspects of performance listed around the outside, and a pupil would rate themselves out of 10 for each of these areas. The first command word we will look at is describe. Using the bullet points on the left hand side to help you structure a describe answer, you should be writing about what you did and how you did it, and use short, sharp sentences when writing a description. PPW stands for the performance profiling wheel that you saw on an earlier slide. As you can see in this model answer for a description, each sentence that is highlighted in a different colour is very specific and gives lots of detail about what something looks like or how the method is actually completed by the individual. This is the structure that should be followed, and if possible in chronological order, to help structure a coherent answer. Sometimes it is easier to think of a simpler example to understand the structure for a described question. As you can see on the whiteboard, I am writing out a description of what I had for lunch today. So it was a sandwich, so I have to describe the bread. I might talk about the brand of bread, whether it was white or brown, and then I would go on to describe the ingredients that I had on my sandwich, telling you how much I had of each, how I prepared those ingredients, and finishing at the end result of cutting my sandwich and then having it for my lunch. The next command word we are going to look at is explain. In a describe answer, we are giving a description of what we did and how we did it. However, in an explain answer, we are looking for the reasons why we did something. As you can see from this slide, in the bottom half there are 3 bullet points: point, evidence and explanation. In an explain answer, I would always encourage pupils to follow this structure for every point that they make. Using our performance profiling wheel as our PE example, on the slide you can see there are 4 different statements about why we would use this method to gather information about our performance. With each of the statements made, there is a reason to explain why that statement is important and why it is a good thing. As you can see, one of the statements has been highlighted in red, and we will use this as our example. So the statement says data is given in a numerical form, and then the reason tells us that this is a good thing because we can use that information and refer to it at a later date and compare test results to check for progress. On the left hand side, you can see that we have isolated that one statement and reason from the previous slide. On the right hand side, that same reason and explanation has been split up into the point, evidence and explanation structure. It is important to note the first sentence is the statement, the evidence part begins with this means, and the explanation part begins in this results, where the pupil has to talk about the impact on their wider performance. Continuing to use our performance profiling wheel as our PE example, you can now see a full 4-mark answer for explaining why that method is important. You can see the last paragraph highlighted in red is our reason that we have used in the previous slides that is now part of a full answer. In each paragraph you can hopefully see the point, evidence, explanation structure in action. To try and highlight the difference between describe and explain, I have now tried to explain my choice of lunch. So whilst the description was what I had, on the board you can see the reasons that I chose to have that particular sandwich. So for example, the first one is that I like the taste. My explanation for why that's important and that's a good thing is it leads to me enjoying my lunch. The second reason is that it's cost effective because I'm using ingredients that I have at home. and that's a good thing because it allows me to save money. And the final reason that I chose to have that lunch is that it is a healthy option. And my explanation of why that is a good thing is that it perhaps helps lead to long-term health benefits. Hopefully this video has been helpful in helping you understand how to structure a describe and an explain answer in PE, and is a good reference to use at home when completing this work.